Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 2 of the Tourism Management English class. Today we are going to be talking about reservations and checking in. We'll be using our textbook today, Welcome English for the Travel and Tourism Industry. So, before we start, there's a couple of things I want to say. I have some announcements about online classes and then how to use the video and what materials you need for today's lesson. So, first of all, I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller. And there we go. And so we're going to think about, first of all, an announcement about the coronavirus. Now, in-class lectures have been delayed for one more week and are now due to start in week 4. So that means there will be another video lesson next week. Again, you can find all the links to the video lessons on the e-learning website. Another thing, please upload your assignment files to the website. Do not send them to me by email. All files must go onto the website. Now, just a few things about using this video. So I will try to instruct this class like a normal in-class lecture. However, there's parts of it that can't be the same, and that is the speaking activities. Now, most of you studied with me last year. You'll know that there was a lot of speaking activities done with your partners and also done in small groups. Unfortunately, they are impossible this semester, so I've tried to replace those speaking activities with writing exercises. There will be some points where you have to pause the video to please complete the class assignments. So I will show this icon and just pause the video, complete your assignment, and you can play the video again. If you want to listen to a part again, just rewind the video and play it again. I think this will be very useful for the listening sections in the lectures. You can listen 2 or 3 times and it can make it a little bit easier for you. Okay, so for today's lessons, you will need your textbook. We can see Welcome English for the Travel and Tourism Industry. You will also need to download 2 documents from the e-learning site. There's a handout containing today's class assignments and today's lecture presentation. So they look like this. The PDF file has today's slides, everything that we're going to talk about today. And your assignment handout has all of the parts that you need to complete. While we're watching the video, we'll stop and you can do each part. And there are 3 pages today. And once you're finished everything, you can upload this to the website. You can upload this either with the Microsoft Word, or if you want to change it into a PDF file, that's good as well. So once you have downloaded those documents, we are ready to start today's class. So in today's class, we're going to do quite a lot of things. We're going to first of all think about the information required from staff and guests when they're making a reservation and when they're checking into a hotel. We're going to look at making reservations by email and writing email replies. There's certain language here that is very useful when we're writing a reply. We're going to be doing some listening, and while we're listening, we're going to be filling in some information from the conversations. We'll also be listening to people checking into a hotel and looking at some useful phrases that we can use for checking in guests. Now, when we do this part, some of these phrases are going to be good and suitable to use. Some of them are not going to be very suitable, and you have to think about which ones are good, which ones aren't good, and why. So that's going to be today's lesson. So we'll start today by thinking about the types of information we need to make a reservation. So we've got two groups of people here. We've got guests, and they need to ask the hotel staff for information before they make a reservation. We also have the hotel staff, and they need to ask the guest for different kinds of information before they make a reservation. So what we're going to start with today is thinking about what kind of information do you think the guest will ask for, and what kind of information will the hotel staff member ask for. So we're going to try and make a list of 4 or 5 things that a guest or hotel staff may ask for. So we've got, for example, here, a guest may ask about hotel facilities. For example, do you have a swimming pool, or what kind of restaurants do you have? Before making a reservation, guests would like to know this information. They may also ask about the room types that are available. Now, the hotel staff, they're going to think about different kinds of information. They're going to have to ask for maybe the guest's name, the guest's phone number, and lots of other different kinds of information related to the guest. So, what we're going to start with today, if you look in your assignment handout, you will see we have part 1, and we have space here for you to write 5 pieces of information that guests need to ask for, and find 5 pieces of information that you think hotel staff would ask for. So, everybody, just now, I think you should pause the video and write your list in your assignment worksheet. Okay, so hopefully everybody has written down 5 things for the guest and 5 things for the staff member. So, maybe this part will help you as well with the first part here. So what we're going to move on to now is looking at reservations. And in your textbook on page 56, you have 2 emails, and they are inquiring about making a reservation at the hotel. So what we're going to do is read through these emails. Here they are here. One is from Susan Smith. One is from Mary Moore. And then we're going to look at the room chart in our textbook and find out, does the information match? So let's quickly read through the first email. Do you have a single room available for 2 nights from Friday, May 6th? If so, please reserve this for me and confirm by fax. Thank you. Please let me know the cost including continental breakfast. And it's signed Susan Smith. Now the second email starts, please reserve 1 double room with balcony and shower for my husband and myself from May 1st to May 8th. We require full board. Mary Moore. So there we have the 2 emails. Here we have the room chart. Can you find the mistake? Look around. Okay, well, hopefully everybody spotted the mistake and you noticed that the dates in the room chart did not match the dates in the email. Now, if we look here at Susan Smith, she wants 2 nights from Friday, May 6th. Friday, May 6th, 1, 2, no problems. However, Mary Moore would like to reserve a room from May 1st to May 8th. Now, look here, May 1st, oh, May 6th. So, there is the problem. Mrs. Moore inquired about booking from May 1st until May 8th, but someone entered the wrong dates in the room chart, which shows the booking from May 1st to May 6th. So hopefully everybody noticed that mistake. Now we're going to be using these 2 emails a little bit more. If we look at the second part, if we look on page 57, part A2, we're going to see a reply to Susan Smith's email. If you remember, this was Susan Smith's email here. So we're going to read the reply to the email, and you're going to find 4 mistakes. So within the email here, Mr. Muster or Ms. Muster, whoever it is, has made some mistakes when they're writing to Susan Smith. So we'll quickly read through the response. It starts, "Dear Mr. Smith, thank you for your email. I am happy to inform you that we do have a single room with shower available for you from Friday, May 6th to Sunday, May 8th. The cost of the room with full breakfast is £65. I can confirm that the room has been reserved for you. We look forward to welcoming you both on May 6th. Please let us know if you will be arriving later than 8 p.m. Yours sincerely, A. Muster, Royal Hotel." So, read again in your books or on the screen, read the email very carefully. I would like you to pause the video and write down the mistakes in your assignment handout. We have here 4 mistakes to write, and I also want you to write what should have been the correct information that they wrote. So again, everybody, pause your video. It should take you about 5 to 10 minutes, I think. Read carefully, find those mistakes, and write them in your handout. Okay, hopefully everybody found the 4 mistakes. So let's move on. So we saw the response to Susan Smith. Now it is your turn. I want you to write a reply to Mrs. Moore's email. If we remember, this was the email. Please reserve 1 double room with balcony and shower for my husband and myself from May 1st to May 8th. We require full board. And it was signed Mary Moore. So again, I would like you to look at the information here. If you want, you can use this response to help you a little bit. There's some good things here, especially using dear at the beginning of the email is very good. Using yours sincerely at the end before you write your name is also a very good thing to do. This is a nice phrase as well. We look forward to welcoming you both. I can confirm that the room has been reserved. All of these are nice formal ways of writing and giving your confirmation. So, everybody, you should pause the video now, go to your handout, and you can see here we've got space to write our reply to Mrs. Moore's email. So, everyone, let's pause the video and let's start writing. Okay, good. So, we will move on to our next part. Here, we're just going to listen to some useful phrases that we can use when people are making reservations and you're giving some responses to them. So I'm just going to play through these. We don't need to answer any questions here. I just want you to listen to the phrases and then you can practice saying some of them as well. This is a point where you might want to listen to the phrase, pause, and then practice, or you can rewind and go over these again. So let's listen.
Lesson 25. Reservations. B2. Practice saying these phrases.
I'll just check if we have a room available. Yes, we do have a room free.
I'm afraid the only room we have is... Could you just spell your name for me, please?
Is there a phone number where we can contact you? What time will you be arriving, Mr. Green? We'll confirm this reservation in writing, Mrs. Moore.
We look forward to seeing you on Monday, Miss Smith.
Thank you for your call, Mrs. Moore.
Okay, so we'll notice there all of these phrases very, very useful for confirming reservations, also for asking for information there as well. We should notice as well the language that is being used. It's all very formal English, very polite, high-level English. So we're not asking direct questions. For example, here, we don't say, what's your phone number? We're making a much more formal English question. Is there a phone number where we can contact you? So this kind of language is always going to be useful when we are reserving rooms, also when we're checking people in as well. So again, I think you should listen and practice saying some of these phrases. Okay, we are going to move on to some other listening. So in this listening, we're going to listen to 2 conversations and fill out the information cards for each guest. Now, in your assignment handout, we can see we have guest 1 and guest 2, and then we have the information that we need to find. So we just need to fill it in there. So the information we're looking for, well, we already know the first part. The name is Mr. Robert Watson. We're looking for the room number, type of room, the cost, and the payment method. And the second guest is Ms. Emma O'Neill, and we're looking for the same information, the room number, type of room, the cost, and the payment method. So everybody should listen carefully and fill in the information.
Lesson 26. Checking in. A. Listen to 2 conversations at the reception desk of the Seaview Hotel. Here's the first.
Good afternoon, sir. Do you have a reservation?
No, I don't. Do you have a double room for 2 nights?
Yes, we do.
Oh, good.
I'll just check what rooms we have available. Just a moment, please.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yes, now let's see. Room 414 is free. It's on the 4th floor and it has a sea view and twin beds.
Oh, that sounds fine. How much is it?
Well, the cost is $150 per night, including buffet
Oh,
breakfast.
fine.
Would you fill out this registration form, please?
Oh, yes, sure. Now I've got a pen here somewhere.
Thank you very much, Mr. Robert. Could I see your passport, please?
Here it is.
Thank you very much. How will you be paying for your room?
By Visa.
May I have your credit card, please?
Oh, certainly. Here you are.
Here's the second conversation.
Good afternoon, may I help you?
Yes, I have a room booked. My name's O'Neill.
Ah, yes, Ms. O'Neill. Yes, it's a single room with sea view until Saturday, is that right?
Yes. And a shower.
Oh, yes, all our rooms have showers.
How much does that cost?
Well, it's $95 a night, but that does include buffet breakfast.
Okay. I'll be paying by MasterCard.
Fine. Would you just fill out the registration form, please? You'll be in room 301, which is on the 3rd floor. Here's your key and your key card.
Oh, thank you. Oh, and what about my suitcase?
Your baggage will be taken up to your room for you.
Oh, that's good.
Have you stayed with us before?
No.
Well, this leaflet tells you all about the hotel and the facilities.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Lunch is served from 8 o'clock. Would you like to reserve a table?
Oh, yes, please. For, 8:30?
Fine. And would you like a wake-up call in the morning?
No, thanks.
Okay, the porter will show you to your room.
Oh, that's good.
If you have any problems, please let me know.
All right. And thank you very much.
Enjoy your stay with us.
Thanks.
Okay, so those were the 2 conversations. Now, possibly you couldn't hear all of the information, that's fine. If you're still struggling to fill in everything, you can rewind the video if you want to listen again, and you can fill in the table in your assignment worksheet. So if you have to listen once more or even twice more, that's okay. Just try and find all of that information. Now, we're going to do something a little bit more difficult now. So in these 2 conversations, there were 2 very, very small mistakes. So each receptionist, in the first conversation, the receptionist made a small mistake. In the second conversation, the receptionist made a small mistake. Now, we're going to listen. I'll play the conversation again. Let's see if you can find those mistakes.
Lesson 26. Checking in. A. Listen to 2 conversations at the reception desk of the Seaview Hotel. Here's the first.
Good afternoon, sir. Do you have a reservation?
No, I don't. Do you have a double room for 2 nights?
Yes, we do.
Oh, good.
I'll just check what rooms we have available. Just a moment, please.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yes, now let's see. Room 414 is free. It's on the 4th floor and it has a sea view and twin beds.
Oh, that sounds fine. How much is it?
Well, the cost is $150 per night, including buffet
Oh,
breakfast.
fine.
Would you fill out this registration form, please?
Oh, yes, sure. Now I've got a pen here somewhere.
Thank you very much, Mr. Robert. Could I see your passport, please?
Here it is.
Thank you very much. How will you be paying for your room?
By Visa.
May I have your credit card, please?
Oh, certainly. Here you are.
Here's the second conversation.
Good afternoon, may I help you?
Yes, I have a room booked. My name's O'Neill.
Ah, yes, Ms. O'Neill. Yes, it's a single room with sea view until Saturday. Is that right?
Yes. And a shower.
Oh, yes, yes. All our rooms have showers.
How much does that cost?
Well, it's $95 a night, but that does include buffet breakfast.
Okay. I'll be paying by MasterCard.
Fine, fine. Would you just fill out the registration form, please? You'll be in room 301, which is on the 3rd floor. Here's your key and your key card.
Oh, thank you. Oh, and what about my suitcase?
Your baggage will be taken up to your room for you.
Oh, that's good.
Have you stayed with us before?
No?
Well, this leaflet tells you all about the hotel and the facilities.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Lunch is served from 8 o'clock. Would you like to reserve a table?
Oh, yes, please. For, 8:30?
Fine. And would you like a wake-up call in the morning?
No, thanks.
Okay, the porter will show you to your room.
Oh, that's good.
If you have any problems, please let me know.
All right. And thank you very much.
Enjoy your stay with us.
Thanks.
Okay, so there was one small mistake in each conversation. Hopefully you noticed those mistakes. Maybe some of you didn't notice them because they were quite small. I'm going to tell you what they were. So, in the first conversation, the receptionist said, "Thank you very much, Mr. Robert." Now, when we're talking to someone, if their name, like Robert Watson, Robert is their first name, Watson is their second name. So if we're using Mr., we will only use the second name. So it's like calling me Mr. James. No, you never call me Mr. James. You can call me James, or you could call me Mr. Peyton. Peyton is my surname. So Robert is the man's first name, not his surname or family name. When we use Mr., Mrs., Miss, or Ms., we always follow it with a surname. So it should have been, "Thank you very much, Mr. Watson." Now, for guest two, this one I think was a little bit more difficult. So hopefully everybody got this, but if you didn't, don't worry about it. Now, the receptionist said lunch is served from 8 o'clock. No, lunch is never 8 o'clock. Breakfast might be 8 o'clock. Dinner might be 8 o'clock. Lunch is never 8 o'clock. So lunch is usually eaten between 12 and 2 p.m. So I think the reception meant to say dinner or breakfast, but I think probably dinner because he asked to reserve a table. Usually for breakfast, people wouldn't reserve a table, but we would reserve a table for dinner. So I think they meant to say dinner is served from 8 o'clock. So again, very small details there. Hopefully that you heard them while you were listening to the conversation. Okay, let's move on here, and we're going to do our last thing today. So below here we have 8 phrases that we are using when people are checking in. So I'm going to read through each of these phrases. So first, good evening, how may I help you? Hello, what do you want? It's good to see you again, Miss Black. It's nice to see you again, Mrs. White. Back again, Mr. Gray. Hello again, Miss Green, and welcome. Good afternoon, sir. Do you have a reservation with us today? Good evening, Mr. Brown. How nice to see you again. So we have 8 different phrases. All of them could be used in a situation where somebody is checking in. Now, Some of these phrases are unsuitable to welcome someone into a hotel. We're going to think, why are they unsuitable? So this is the last thing that we're going to do in our worksheet. We're going to look at those phrases which are unsuitable to welcome someone into a hotel, and why are they unsuitable. So I want you to write a short answer below. I want you to tell me the phrases that are unsuitable and why they are unsuitable for welcoming someone into a hotel. So that's the last part of the assignment that you need to do today. Okay then, let's go back here. So once you have done this part, that's the assignment finished. The end of this video, I am just going to go through some of the things that we've learned today. We talked about the information required from staff and guests. I will be reading your assignments and giving you some feedback. We looked at making reservations by email and writing email replies. Again, I'll be looking at those in your assignment handout. We did some listening to confirm the information, and then finally we looked at the useful phrases for welcoming and checking in the guests. So that was today's lesson. Please remember to upload your assignment files to the e-learning website. Next week, we will be doing another online lecture. We'll be looking at units 29 and 30, and these are about the best hotel for you. We're going to learn about ways to describe a hotel. We'll look at hotel facilities, what makes a good hotel, and we're going to talk about the perfect hotel for you. So that will be in next week's lesson. So that is us finished today. Thank you for listening, everybody, and I will see you all next week. Goodbye.